This week, the House is expected to take up one of the most significant pieces of legislation we will vote on this Congress. The CHIPS Plus Act represents not only a once-in-a-generation investment in American manufacturing, but a significant step in addressing existential threats to our national security. Let's start by talking about what this bill actually does. The CHIPS Plus Act provides over $50 billion to promote domestic semiconductor manufacturing, including critical investments in workforce development and R&D. Additionally, the bill includes a provision I was proud to put forward with House Foreign Affairs Ranking Member Michael McCall, providing a 25% tax credit for advanced chip manufacturing in the United States. Critically, CHIPS Plus increases authorizations for our nation's premier research agencies, ensuring that the U.S. will continue to lead on innovative technologies like artificial intelligence and quantum computing. While the final bill is nowhere near perfect, it will make a real difference, carrying significant benefits for our economy and our nation's ability to compete on the world's stage. So what are those benefits? First, we need to recognize the magnitude of the investment this legislation will bring into communities across the United States. For my district in central New York, this legislation has the potential to pave the way for some of the largest investments in advanced manufacturing in our nation's history. That's absolutely incredible. Building off the stellar work that has already been done to make upstate and central New York a hub for advanced manufacturing, this legislation would enable billions of dollars in investments in our community over the course of decades. This rising tide would truly raise all ships, creating thousands of jobs, reinvigorating our local economy, and representing a transformational leap forward in the quality of life throughout the region. Now, imagine these types of investments nationwide. Although critics will quickly point to estimates from the Congressional Budget Office that project this legislation will increase federal spending by $79 billion through 2031, we also need to consider the return on that investment. CHIPS Plus is estimated to unlock as much as $279 billion in private investment nationwide, accompanied by opportunities for economic development that will amplify these benefits several times over. Let me be clear. Those investments could just as easily be made elsewhere, with countries in Europe already vying to accommodate opportunities that do not materialize here. For lawmakers such as myself that came to Congress to push back on a narrative that the best days of American manufacturing are behind us, this is our chance to promote and keep those promises. Beyond the macro level impact of this investment, this is also our chance to respond to some of the most dire concerns facing our constituents right now. Although there is no silver bullet that will immediately alleviate the severe supply chain constraints currently facing the semiconductor industry, this legislation will take necessary steps to ensure our nation does not find itself in this position again. Right now, we have dealerships with empty lots because they cannot source the necessary chips to deliver cars. We have families waiting months for basic consumer products because manufacturers are all competing for semiconductors in a historically scarce market. We have medical device manufacturers and utility providers facing the very real threat of being unable to manufacture or repair their equipment, jeopardizing the health and safety of their customers. All of these factors contribute to severe disruptions and rising prices in the immediate term, emphasizing the fact that economic security is national security and that we simply cannot allow ourselves to be caught flat-footed on these critical supply chain issues again. Finally, I want to call out the implications for American leadership if we fail to act. There is a reason why former Trump administration officials like Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross are calling on Congress to get this bill done and get it done now. They recognize that our loss is China's gain, and that our failure to invest in American chip manufacturing will play directly into the hands of the Chinese Communist Party. In addition to the CCP's plans to invest $150 billion in chip manufacturing over the next 10 years, their aggression towards Taiwan, which manufactures a vast majority of the world's most advanced semiconductors, threatens to put a vice grip around the entire world's access to critical technologies. The CCP is actively perpetrating a genocide against its own people, and the leverage they would obtain by cornering the semiconductor market would enable their mission to snuff out freedom across the globe and jeopardize our security. As ranking member in the Homeland Security Committee, I simply cannot sit idly by and watch Americans' values take a backseat to a regime that is committed to oppression and censorship. That's why I'm proud that in addition to positioning America over China on this critical issue, this bill includes important guardrails that will cut off the CCP's ability to participate in advanced chip production. So, my message is simple. Let's pass this bill. Let's pass this bill for communities like mine and show that Congress is working to ensure the future is made in America. Let's pass this bill for high school students who are interested in advanced manufacturing and show them that the jobs of the future are theirs. And let's pass this bill for our allies around the globe and show our adversaries that America is committed to having both hands firmly on the steering wheel and guiding the future of innovation. I'm ready to vote yes, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Thank you, and God bless America.